Yolo Show, man. Yeah. We in this big, the Yolo Show, man.
Yeah, YOLO. We dying. It's Yoda and Solo, boys. With another one. This part 3. Part 3. You understand?
And it's gonna be crazy, man. We're taking you to the West Coast, man.
We're taking y'all to the West Coast, man. What's this? What's this? This Tukey.
Yeah, this the Tukey. We supposed to run the music, Rick. We got to run our music first, though.
We got to run the music first.
Yeah. Got to put that in a rush on. You want me to put it on?
I got you. Let me see. Let me see if my shit don't chop and screw. You know my shit be chopping and screwing, man.
Yeah, I know it do.
Have me in the blender, my nigga.
Shout out J Mac.
You so disrespectful. Shout out J Mac.
Shout out Big Fresh. The freshest podcast in this motherfucker, Mike.
Big Fresh.
Shout out 400 Game.
Goddamn right.
That boy finally showed his face, man.
Shout out 400 Game. Yeah, for real. He finally did. He finally did. I'm going to do that shit right now. So got my double cup. I'm in a rush. Lil bro, see the op. Hey, who's that? Daniel Berry? Shout out Daniel Berry in the chat.
Yeah, shout out Daniel Berry, man.
Yeah, shout out 400. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Ricky Rack.
Shout out Ricky Rack. Hey.
That's BT going crazy.
Hey. OTM. Say. I forgot my double cup. I'm in a rush. Hey, lil' bro, I grab my Glock. I'm pushing up. Hey, we don't do no V6. This a hit. I'm city with them sticks. Just pop the trunk. Hey. Can't fake the funk. My nigga kill you for a brand new pair of dunks. Sliding with 90 and Yoda.
What up, Joe? What up?
Just like a pun. Call me a blitz, I get it as hit. Not no kick and fuck by the bitch. Ride with the glitz, I shoot up the shit. Smoke my op to the op, get gone. Ride with the glitz, better get your zone. Got no love, that shit be gone. Taking off like a rocket. All them pussy niggas better stop it. Mad at me, I'm the hot top. I was foreign shit, I rock it. Used to be with the glitz, yeah, I was line. I never put it down. Them player niggas around, milk this nigga in the run around. I'm popping. Them VVS can't stop it. Back your head if you think I'm playing, come try me. Come try me. Ain't going back and forth. Them neck 5 shots to the bed to your chest. Let a fan try to play my neck. He got right there, that's on the set. Harvey Street, that's where I'm at. I've got 6 in the chest. Lil B, that nigga's a bitch. Did 5 years and sticks on the bitch. Ain't this game till your brother get hit. I'm popping person, my out get hit. Popping person, my out get hit.
I'm popping person, my out get hit.
I'm popping person, my out get hit. Bitch. Pussy. Bitch. Oh God.
This ain't high school, I got this Glock all in my letter. Hey, niggas out here doing funny business, David Letterman. Hey, Sunday service, bitch, I get paid like the Reverend. Whoa. Can't talk without this Zaze pipe. I need my medicine. Whoa. Can't do a show without it, so you know we got the medal. Can't take a picture with no guns, you know I got felonies. Steady speaking on our name, shit gon' get your melon split. Niggas ain't gon' slide, they gon' hide when the beef come. Niggas steady talking about it, smoke, but ain't gon' be none. I show you how to be a player, nigga, be a better. Let's go. Let me show you how to mix it up. I got the recipe.
Let's go. Bitch ass niggas. I keep telling you niggas, this shit ain't over with. We still dropping this shit. We still pumping this shit. We still doing this shit. Quit playing with us. Oh, nigga. Bang, man, nigga.
On God.
On God.
On God. It's your turn, my boy. We done turned up. Boy, that's our intro right there, y'all. We in a rush. We in a rush. You understand me? Now we finna hit y'all with this good Tukey news. You know what I'm saying? Lace y'all up on this good Tookie news.
If Stanley Tookie Williams were a vicious gang leader who now teaches school kids how to avoid becoming what he used to be, Williams says since he's been on death row, he's had time to reflect on the violence and destruction he caused by founding the Crips.
Working together, we can put an end to this cycle that creates deep pain in the hearts of our mothers, our fathers, and our people.
Meet Stanley Tookie Williams, a guy who went from being just another troublemaker on the streets to becoming a big shot in the Crips gang. His story is one heck of a ride. Back in the day, Tookie was just like any other kid from the block, but he got tangled up in some rough stuff. He started running with the wrong crowd. He found himself drawn into the dangerous world of gangs and street life. But then things took a crazy turn. Instead of sticking to petty crimes, Tookie became a leader in one of the most notorious gangs around, the Crips. It's a real-life rags-to-riches tale, but with a twist. Instead of money and fame, Tookie gained power and influence on the mean streets.
Working together, we can put an end to this cycle that creates deep pain in the hearts of our mothers, our fathers, and our people.
But here's the kicker. Tookie's story isn't just about crime and violence. It's also about redemption and change. While behind bars, he had a change of heart and started working to steer young people away from gang life.
But because he's all three, an inmate on death row who teaches inner-city kids how to avoid joining gangs, and a nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize, his is a 60-minute story. Now, at age 50, Stanley Williams is literally trying to rewrite his violent history.
So buckle up, folks, and get ready for a wild ride through Tookie's world, from being a regular gang banger to becoming a Crip king. Born in New Orleans in 1953, Williams had a tough start. He quickly learned the harsh realities of life when his father left the family just a year later. His mother, Louisiana Williams, moved them to Los Angeles, California, where they settled in the tough streets of South Central. With his mother working multiple jobs to make ends meet, young Tookie found himself often left to his own devices. Growing up as a latchkey kid, he roamed the streets. As you can expect in situations like this, Tookie found himself mixed up in all sorts of trouble. From hustling with older folks to betting on street fights, his childhood was far from ordinary. He even got paid to take care of dogs injured in dog fights, a sad reality of the streets he called home. As he grew older, Tookie's reputation as a tough guy only got stronger. He was kicked out of school for being too intimidating, and found himself in juvenile detention more than once. Amidst the chaos of urban life in the 1960s, the Black Panther movement emerged as a beacon of hope for many African Americans, including youth like Tookie. Inspired by their message of empowerment and resistance, Tookie found himself drawn to the ideals of the Panthers, but as the movement waned, he turned to the streets for solace and belonging. But the real trouble began when he was accused of a robbery he says he didn't commit. When he was just 15, Tookie got caught stealing a car and was sent to a place called Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall. While there, he got into weightlifting and became stronger. By the time he was out at 17, he was a force to be reckoned with. After his release, Tookie met Raymond Washington, who had heard about Tookie's toughness. They decided to team up and form a bigger gang called the Crips. At first, they wanted to protect their neighborhood from other gangs and the police. In an interview with Vlad TV, an original WS Crip member and a co-founder of the 8 Trey gang, Melvin Farmer, talked about how the Crips gang started.
So Raymond and them came over there, got into it with Tookie and them, and he was coming home on the weekends. They scheduled a meeting at St. Andrews Park, and that's when the Crips start forming. East Side, West Side, Compton.
Obviously, things didn't go as planned. The Crips grew too big and too violent. They started fighting other gangs instead of protecting their community. Soon, they were the most feared gang in town. Tookie's Crips recruited heavily, challenging other gang leaders to fights. Many gangs joined them, but some resisted. These resistant gangs formed their own alliance called the Bloods, becoming the Crips' biggest rivals. Today, there are about 150,000 gang members in the Los Angeles area, split between the Crips and their rivals, the Bloods. So far, at least 5,000 lives have been lost, all because of a decision made by Tookie and Washington as co-founders of the Crips gang. But as the Crips expanded their territory, so too did their list of enemies. With power came consequences. Tookie found himself constantly in the crosshairs of rival gangs and the police, who blamed him for every crime in the city. In an interview with a source during his imprisonment, he said, "I was always known for being a fighter. When I was beating people, I would make sure they knew it was Tookie who was hitting them. I was a megalomaniac and wanted my gang to be the biggest in the world. At first, it was all about fighting, but then the Crips became too big to fight, so the other gangs started shooting." He continued, "People started dying, friends of mine, but you never think it's going to happen to you. The thing that makes people most dangerous is when they start believing they are invincible." Tookie led the West Side Crips with his friend, Curtis Buddha Moreau. Together, they struck fear into the hearts of both criminals and innocent people. Tookie became infamous for his violent acts, often avoiding punishment due to lack of evidence. Even after his early involvement in the gang, Williams lived an ironic double life in which he worked in a legal job as an anti-gang youth counselor, helping troubled youth in Compton, while also serving as the overboss for one of the largest gangs in Los Angeles. Williams would work as a counselor and study sociology at Compton College during working hours, then spend his free time participating in numerous violent attacks against the Bloods. He also had this thing for working out, which made his body look all muscled up, making him contest in an amateur bodybuilding contests. In an interview, Ice-T talked about meeting him in one of his contests.
Walk into this bathroom. Who's in the bathroom? Tookie and them push-ups, right? Getting in sets because they want to be super swole when they hit the stage. I'm in there trying to pay, man.
Unfortunately, he was denied an opportunity to compete in an amateur bodybuilding contest after it was discovered that he was a gang leader. Williams would later appear on the popular 1970s NBC game show, The Gong Show, performing a pose-down routine. Eventually, his gangster lifestyle was beginning to take a mental toll on him, which included a brief stay in the psychiatric ward of a hospital after Williams experienced a bad trip while high on PCP. With each of these setbacks, Williams increasingly found himself using PCP and supported his drug habit by intimidating and robbing drug dealers in South Central. He lost his counseling job in 1977 after being implicated in a robbery that was committed by two youths from a group home that Williams supervised. And then in 1981, Tookie's life took a dramatic turn when he was convicted of multiple robberies and M's, crimes that would ultimately land him on death row. Rival gangs and internal conflicts threatened to tear the organization apart, leading to a cycle of violence and retaliation that claimed many lives, including those of Tookie's closest allies. Tookie Williams was a man surrounded by controversy. In 1981, he was convicted of 4 counts of M in 2 separate incidents. The prosecution's case painted a chilling picture of Williams orchestrating robberies that turned deadly, leaving innocent people dead in their wake. The first incident took place at a stop-and-go supermarket, where Williams and his accomplices allegedly planned to rob the store. Thankfully, the robbery was thwarted and no harm was done. However, this was just the beginning of a tragic series of events. The second incident occurred at a 7-Eleven store where Williams and his associates confronted the store clerk, Albert Lewis Owens. In a chilling display of violence, Williams shot Owens twice in the back, unaliving him in cold blood. The senseless loss of life left a community in shock and mourning. But perhaps the most heinous act attributed to Williams was the massacre at the Brookhaven Motel. In the early hours of March 11, 1979, Williams allegedly stormed into the motel lobby, shooting and unaliving 4 members of the Yang family who ran the establishment. The brutal nature of the Kings shocked the...
Hi, we're Visible. We're the wireless company with nothing to hide. Seriously, hidden fees?
...conscience of the public and left a scar on the community that would never fully heal. Throughout the trial and subsequent appeals, Tookie Williams maintained his innocence, claiming he was framed for the crimes and that the evidence against him was weak, pointing out there were no fingerprints or eyewitnesses linking him to the crimes. Even the shotgun shells found at the crime scenes didn't match his gun, he said. However, the prosecution argued otherwise. They presented a firearms expert who testified that the shells matched Williams' shotgun. But Williams' defense team criticized the expert's methodology, calling it junk science. Critics also pointed out that Williams, despite renouncing his gang affiliations and apologizing for co-founding the Crips, continued to associate with gang members in prison. But when questioned, the Los Angeles Police Department couldn't find evidence of his gang leadership. Some opponents even accused him of receiving money from supporters, implying that his actions were insincere. Yet Williams's spokeswoman insisted that people supported him because they appreciated his work, plain and simple. The composition of the jury also raised eyebrows. Williams' lawyers argued that the jury didn't reflect the diversity of the community. They claimed that African Americans were underrepresented, and 3 black potential jurors were dismissed from serving. However, the prosecution provided evidence that there was at least 1 black juror, although the defense disputed his racial identity. This raised questions about the fairness of the trial. Williams's journey didn't end with his conviction. He spent years in San Quentin State Prison, where he was involved in violent incidents, leading to 6 years of solitary confinement. Then, in 1988, he was stabbed in the neck by another inmate, causing serious injuries. At first, he continued his gang life within the prison walls, but it appeared he soon came to see the error of his ways. Williams showed signs of change. He hadn't violated any rules since the late 1980s, according to John Boxer Mendoza, a former high-ranking member of the Nuestra Familia. He was incarcerated at that time.
Stanley Tookie Williams was at this particular prison, right?
Yes, he was.
Did you know each other at all?
He was my neighbor over. Tookie was a good dude.
This transformation caught the attention of many, including those who advocated for his clemency. In another interview, he said, "It didn't happen overnight. There was no epiphany. It took 6 years of solitary confinement, of soul searching, to realize what I had become and that I didn't want to be that person anymore." Soon afterwards, he began his anti-gang work. "The part I love most is working with young people. That's the absolute highlight of my day." Yet even in the face of death, Tookie refused to succumb to despair. Behind bars, he found solace in religion and redemption. During his time in prison, Tookie underwent a transformation. He renounced his past life and became an advocate for peace. He even reached out to rival gang members, urging them to put aside their differences and work towards peace.
Together, we can put an end to this cycle that creates deep pain in the hearts of our mothers, our fathers, and our people.
At the age of 50, Williams rewrote his life story from his prison cell. Despite his past as a gang leader, he went on spreading a message against violence and gangs. He wrote 9 books for kids, warning them about the dangers of gangs, drugs, and prison life. Even on death row, he was using the internet, TV, and radio to share his message. Don't join gangs. I turned my life around, and you can too. What was remarkable then was that schools were inviting him to talk to students directly, even from death row, well, of course, through a phone. Particularly in places where gang violence hits closer to home for many students. Some had lost friends to shootings. Those students, having read Williams' book, were eager to ask him questions.
Hi, my name is Marianne.
Hello, Marianne.
Hey, my question is, your book talks about transformation. How do we know it's sincere?
My work speaks for itself. It took years and years for me to experience a change. I started off reading a lot. It opened up a new world for me, and in time, I developed a conscience.
His efforts garnered international attention, earning him nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize and sparking a debate over the nature of justice and rehabilitation in America's criminal justice system.
The Nobel Peace Prize isn't awarded for what your past is like. You don't have to have an unblemished past. It's awarded on the basis of, have you made a contribution towards peace? And that, I think, is what is true of Stanley Williams.
But despite his efforts at redemption, the debate over Williams' case extended beyond the courtroom. It sparked discussions about the justice system, rehabilitation, and redemption. Some believed he deserved a second chance, pointing to his efforts to denounce violence and promote peace. Others remained skeptical, questioning the sincerity of his change.
Stanley Williams is no Mother Teresa.
What do you think he's trying to accomplish with these books?
Well, I think that all of this is all part of his way of attempting to escape the executioner.
However, the evidence presented in court seemed to point overwhelmingly towards his guilt. Eyewitness testimony, forensic evidence, and Williams' own actions seemed to paint a damning picture. Despite his claims of innocence, Williams was ultimately convicted and sentenced to death. His case became a focal point in the debate over the death penalty, with supporters and opponents alike weighing in on the morality of executing a man who claimed to have turned his life around while on death row. Tookie's execution went ahead as scheduled in 2005. Tookie Williams faced his final moments on Earth. He was led into a room, surrounded by people, and strapped to a bed. But this wasn't just any room. It was the place where he would take his last breath. Tookie knew this, but he didn't show fear. Instead, he relied on his faith. Before Tookie was executed, he said something powerful. Redemption is tailor-made for the wretched. This means that no matter how bad things seem, there is always a chance to make them right. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you've done. Redemption is for everyone. As Tookie lay on the bed, the people around him could see his struggle. He didn't resist, but he didn't give up either. He wanted to smile at his advocate, to show her that he was okay. Beckney, Williams' advocate, reported that prior to Williams' arrival in the death chamber, he had promised her that he would find a way to lift his head and smile at me at some point during his execution, no matter what was being done to him. And that is exactly what he did. Even though the process took longer than usual, Tookie remained calm. Although CNN reported the staff had difficulty inserting the needles and the usually short process took almost 20 minutes, Tookie showed no resistance, shedding only a single tear as he passed away. In the aftermath of his death, Tookie's supporters vowed to continue his fight for justice, determined to prove his innocence. His body was laid out for viewing, drawing thousands of mourners who came to pay their respects. A memorial service in Los Angeles brought together people from all walks of life, from former gang members to celebrities and religious leaders. But perhaps the most important moment came when Tookie's ashes were scattered in a lake in Thokoza Park in the city of Soweto, South Africa, fulfilling his final wish. As his voice echoed through the church during his funeral, urging others to avoid the destructive path he had once walked, it became clear that Tookie's legacy was one of redemption and hope. Today, Tookie is remembered not only as a street legend, but also as a man who dared to defy expectations and strive for a better future. His story serves as a reminder that no matter how far one may fall, redemption is always within reach for those willing to seek it, and that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a better tomorrow. And that's all for today. Until next time, peace out.
Monday.com is the ideal.
See, a lot of people don't know that side, though.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's the side that people don't be showing, man. They only show, you know what I mean? They only showing the bullshit side, bro. Y'all never want to show the good side, bro. And this is why we bring this shit to you.
They want to keep the bad side shown.
Keep the bullshit going on, but they don't want to say how he was trying to make peace before he left. Peace. They don't talk about the bullshit.
Of course, the bullshit is what sells.
Yeah, Tookie did do some good shit, bro. Because of the skin he in. He did some gangster shit. And he did, and he did a lot of wrong. You know what I mean? He did a lot of wrong, but in a sense he changed though, bro. You know what I'm saying? He never said that, you know what I mean, he was perfect and shit. We seen the shit that he did. But shit, at the same time, it's like when niggas start to change, goddamn. You know what I mean?
They don't never want to see change, because when you change, you get power.
Yeah.
When you thinking, they don't want you to be thinking. Shit. He started thinking. He started using that brain instead of all that muscle.
Yeah.
So they was even scared of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They did not want him to do that. They rather just, like you say, they rather just him use his muscle. You just get on niggas' asses. You know what I'm saying? Put niggas down. Terrorize the community. That's all we want you to do is terrorize the community. You know what I mean? Same shit they trying to pay. Larry Hoover, he locked up. People been trying to get him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's a smart brother. They know it. They don't want him out. He too smart. And then he's sitting there doing nothing but reading. He getting smarter. Shit.
Yeah.
That's why they trying to keep him in there. Yeah. They feel like he gonna unite some shit and take over some shit.
Yeah, for real. 1,000 Jet. Y'all see that, man? Yeah, man, for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this
man.
one here, this one here gonna be about Huey P. Newton.
Yeah, Huey P. Newton. We're going to the Black Panther side right now, man.
We're going to the Black Panther
side. Hole. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we're gonna give you
shout out J. Cool, shout out Mr. Mike, shout out Kurt Dog, shout out Elva.
Shout out J. Cool, shout out Mr. Mike, shout out Elva, shout out Judge, shout out Hank and TV, 400, Kurt Dog, all y'all in. Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. Yeah, for fucking with us, man, kicking it with us, man. Appreciate y'all guys. Without y'all, it ain't no us.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep on supporting. We're gonna keep dropping these gems, man, on y'all head, man. They can't feel what they feel what they can't control. Absolutely. They do feel what they can't control. As soon as a nigga start waking up, that's when they gonna come knock a nigga down. As long as you on that fuck shit, it's all good. As long as you on that fuck shit, it's all
lock
good.
you up and everything. Yep. You see what they a lot of them young brothers have been on YouTube taking them niggas out, making charges of them niggas, all kind of shit.
Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? Steady, my nigga, steady. Taking a nigga down. Can't wait to take a nigga down. For real.
Shout out Carl.
Shout out Carl. You know what I'm saying? My boy the belt. Shout out Carl, belt gang, nigga. All right, we can go ahead and get into this one.
In the heart of Oakland, California, a man who epitomized the turbulent era of civil rights and revolutionary activism left an indelible mark on history. Huey Newton, a co-founder of the Black Panther Party, was a charismatic leader whose unwavering commitment to racial equality and social justice stirred the souls of many. From his fierce advocacy for Black empowerment to his profound intellectual pursuits, Newton's life was a roller coaster of triumphs and tragedies. In this documentary, we journey through the extraordinary life of Huey Newton, a visionary, an icon, and a symbol of defiance in the face of oppression. Huey Newton was born in Monroe, Louisiana, 1942, right during World War II. His parents, Amelia Johnson and Walter Newton, were sharecroppers and Baptist preachers. They named him after Huey Long, who used to be the governor of Louisiana. Now, Monroe is in Ouachita Parish, and unfortunately, that place has a long history of violence against Black people, going all the way back to the Reconstruction era. According to a report from 2015, there were 37 documented cases of Black people being lynched in that parish between 1877 and 1950, making it one of the counties with the highest number of lynchings in the southern United States. Given all the violence they faced, the Newton family decided to move to Oakland, California, as part of the second wave of the Great Migration, a movement of African Americans leaving the South in search of better opportunities and to escape the harsh treatment they endured. Life wasn't easy for the Newtons, though. During Newton's childhood, they were quite poor and had to move around a lot within the San Francisco Bay Area. As a teenager, Newton had a few run-ins with the law. He got arrested a couple of times for things like gun possession and vandalism. It wasn't the best path to be on, but he managed to turn things around later in life. Growing up in Oakland, he felt this sense of shame about being Black. But as we go on, you'll see that despite all the challenges and adversities he faced, Newton went on to become an important figure and made a significant impact on the civil rights movement. After high school graduation in 1959 from Oakland Technical High School, he went on to attend Merritt College. There, in 1966, he earned an Associate of Arts degree. During his early adult years, Newton found Plato's Republic to be a highly influential work. In fact, during the trial for the killing of Officer John Frey, he mentioned to the court that he had actually learned to read by studying the Republic. In his autobiography called Revolutionary Suicide, he talks about how he began questioning what was happening not only in his own family, but also in the community around him. While studying at Merritt College in Oakland, Newton became quite involved in Bay Area politics. He joined the Afro-American Association, AAA, and became a prominent member of the Beta Tau chapter of the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. He even played a role in getting the college to adopt its first African-American history course. It was through the AAA that Newton had the opportunity to learn about Black history from Donald Warden, who later changed his name to Khalid Abdullah Tariq al-Mansur. At first, Newton found Warden's ideas compelling, but later on, he came to the conclusion that Warden's solutions didn't actually work. In his autobiography, Newton expressed his skepticism, stating that the mass media gave Warden exposure for a specific reason, to mislead people away from the truth of their situation. During his time in college, Newton was an avid reader. He delved into the works of influential figures such as Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, Franz Fanon, Malcolm X, Mao Zedong, Emil Durkheim, and Che Guevara. Their writings and ideas significantly impacted his worldview and political beliefs. At Merritt College, Newton crossed paths with Bobby Seale, and their chance encounter led to the founding of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, BPP, in October 1966. Seale became the chairman, while Newton assumed the role of Minister of Defense, based on their casual conversation. The Black Panther Party was a left-wing organization that advocated for the right of self-defense for Black individuals in the United States. Malcolm X played a crucial role in shaping the beliefs of the Black Panther Party. And Newton acknowledged his profound influence, describing the party as a living testament to Malcolm X's life work. The Black Panther Party gained national and international recognition for its active involvement in the Black Power movement and the political landscape of the 1960s and 70s. In his autobiography, Newton reflected on his efforts to transform what society labeled as criminal activities in the streets into something with political significance. He recognized the need for a gradual shift in mindset and action. He aimed to redirect these daily activities for survival toward meaningful community actions. However, over time, the illegal activities of a few individuals within the Black Panther Party started overshadowing the impactful social programs they were involved in. This mischaracterization caused them to lose some support within Black communities and among white individuals. Newton and the Panthers initiated various social programs in Oakland, making a positive impact on the community. One notable endeavor was the establishment of the Oakland Community School, which provided high-quality education to 150 children from underprivileged urban neighborhoods. They also launched the Free Breakfast for Children program, and other initiatives that offered activities like dances for teenagers and martial arts training. According to John George, a supervisor in Oakland County, Newton remarkably inspired social consciousness even in individuals associated with street gangs. However, in 1982, Newton faced allegations of embezzling $600,000 of state aid intended for the Panther-founded Oakland Community School. The accusations of embezzlement led to the dissolution of the Black Panther Party. 6 years later, in March 1989, the embezzlement charges were dropped, and Newton pleaded no contest to a single count of cashing a $15,000 state check for personal use. He received a sentence of 6 months in jail and 18 months of probation. In mid-1964, Newton was convicted of assault with a deadly weapon for stabbing Odell Lee multiple times with a steak knife. He served a 6-month prison sentence. On October 27th and 28th, 1967, Newton was out celebrating after completing his probationary period. During the early hours of October 28th, Newton and a friend were stopped by Oakland Police Department officer John Frey. Recognizing Newton, Frey called for backup. When another officer, Herbert Heenes, arrived at the scene, gunfire erupted, and all 3 individuals were injured. Heenes testified that the shooting occurred after Newton had been placed under arrest, while one witness claimed Newton shot Frey with the officer's own gun during a struggle. No firearms were found on either Newton or Frey. Newton asserted that he lost consciousness during the incident after being shot by Frey. Unfortunately, Frey succumbed to his injuries shortly after being shot 4 times, while Heenes remained in serious condition from 3 gunshot wounds. David Hilliard, a Black Panther member, took Newton to Kaiser Hospital in Oakland, where he was admitted with an abdominal gunshot wound. Newton was handcuffed to his hospital bed and arrested for Frey's killing. Upon arrival, Newton requested treatment in an agitated state, and he was administered a tranquilizer to calm him down. In September 1968, Newton was convicted of voluntary manslaughter for killing Frey and received a prison sentence of 2 to 15 years. However, in May 1970, the California Appellate Court overturned the conviction and ordered a new trial. Following 2 subsequent trials resulting in hung juries, the district attorney decided not to pursue a 4th trial, leading the Alameda County Superior Court to dismiss the charges. In his autobiography, Revolutionary Suicide, Newton claimed that Heenes and Frey were shooting at each other from opposite directions during the shootout. Following his arrest on October 28, 1967, Newton pleaded not guilty to the murder of Officer John Frey. The Black Panther Party wasted no time in mobilizing a coalition to rally behind Newton and advocate for his release. In a significant show of support, the Peace and Freedom Party, a predominantly white anti-war political organization, joined forces with the Black Panther Party in December. This alliance served a dual purpose. It provided legitimacy to Newton's cause and enhanced the credibility of the party among more radical activists in the community. Under the joint leadership of the Black Panther Party and the Peace and Freedom Party, a powerful demonstration occurred on February 17th, 1968, coinciding with Newton's birthday. Around 5,000 protesters gathered in Oakland to express their solidarity with Newton. This event garnered widespread attention from international news organizations, greatly elevating the profile of the Black Panther Party. The phrase "Free Huey" became a rallying cry for the movement and appeared on buttons and t-shirts. Kathleen Cleaver, a prominent member of the Black Panther Party, emphasized that the Free Huey campaign aimed to position Newton as a symbol representing the party's core values, effectively creating a living martyr. As the trial began on July 15, 1968, it quickly transcended the individual case of Newton and evolved into a politically charged movement with racial undertones. Over the course of 2 years, encompassing Newton's original trial and subsequent appeals, the coalition steadfastly supported him. Finally, on August 5, 1970, the charges against Newton were overturned, and he was released from custody. The unwavering support from the coalition played a crucial role in achieving this outcome. After being released from prison, Newton got this invitation to visit China. But here's the interesting part. Newton decided to beat him to it and visit China first when he learned President Nixon planned to visit China in 1972. In late September 1971, Newton and his fellow Panthers, Elaine Brown and Robert Bay, embarked on the trip. By the time Newton's plane touched down at a Chinese airport, he was met by thousands of enthusiastic people waving copies of The Little Red Book and holding signs that said things like, "We support the Black Panther Party, down with U.S. imperialism," or "We support the American people, but the Nixon imperialist regime must be overthrown." During his stay, the Chinese arranged some pretty important meetings for Newton. He got to have dinner with ambassadors from North Korea and Tanzania, and delegations from North Vietnam and the Provisional Revolutionary Government of South Vietnam. Newton was hoping to meet Mao Zedong, the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party. But instead, he had two meetings with the Chinese premier, Zhou Enlai, and Mao's wife, Jiang Qing, joined in on one of the meetings. Newton had a pretty interesting perspective on China. He described it as a free and liberated territory with a socialist government. After Newton's Asian adventure, the Black Panther Party started incorporating North Korea's Juche ideals into their own ideology. They were clearly influenced by what they witnessed and learned during the trip. During the 1970s, there were allegations that Newton had become increasingly paranoid, developed a crack cocaine addiction, and exhibited violent tendencies. A significant incident occurred on August 6, 1974, involving the shooting of Kathleen Smith, a 17-year-old native of Oakland and a child prostitute. Smith succumbed to her injuries 3 months later. According to the prosecutor involved in the case, it is believed that Newton shot Smith following a casual exchange on the street during which she referred to him as Baby, a childhood nickname that he despised. In this case, the main witness refused to testify for fear of assassination. After 2 trials resulted in deadlocked juries, Newton was not convicted of the shooting. There are also reports of Newton assaulting his tailor over a disagreement about the price of a suit. In 1974, Newton was arrested for striking the tailor with a pistol. But he was able to secure release after posting bail. Newton obtained his bachelor's degree from the University of California at Santa Cruz in 1974. While serving time in prison in 1978, he formed a close friendship with evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers. Newton sought to pursue a graduate degree in the history of consciousness and applied to do a reading course with Trivers. Together, they published an analysis of the role of flight crew self-deception in the 1982 crash of Air Florida Flight 90. Trivers even dedicated a chapter of his autobiography to his relationship with Newton. In 1980, Newton completed his PhD in the social philosophy program of History of Consciousness at the University of California at Santa Cruz. His doctoral dissertation, titled War Against the Panthers, A Study of Repression in America, examined various aspects of the Black Panther Party's development, including the response of the U.S. federal government to the party and the assassinations of Fred Hampton, Bunchy Carter, and John Huggins. Newton drew from sources such as 2 federal civil rights lawsuits, one against the FBI and other government officials, and another initially against the city of Chicago. Newton's academic research, often overlooked, was discussed by his widow, Frederica Newton, during an episode of C-SPAN's American Perspectives program on February 18, 2006. Following the decline of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton completed numerous unpublished essays on philosophy, political theology, evolutionary biology, and political economy, which are currently held in an archive at Stanford University. Unfortunately, in the early morning of August 22, 1989, Huey Newton was fatally shot in front of 1456 9th Street in the Lower Bottoms area of Oakland, California. Shortly after the incident, Tyrone Robinson, who was on parole, was arrested as a suspect. Robinson confessed to the murder, claiming self-defense, although no evidence indicated that Newton was armed. In 1991, Robinson was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to prison for 32 years to life. He revealed that his motive was to advance within the Black Guerrilla family, a Marxist-Leninist narcotics prison gang, in order to gain control of a crack cocaine operation. Newton's funeral took place at Allen Temple Baptist Church, where he had been attending following his conversion. The service accommodated around 1,300 mourners inside the church, with an additional 500 to 600 people listening from outside. The funeral celebrated Newton's contributions to civil rights and his work on behalf of Black children and families through the Black Panther Party. Newton's body was cremated and his ashes were interred at Evergreen Cemetery in Oakland. To honor the legacy of the Black Panther Party and commemorate Huey Newton, the city of Oakland erected a bust of Newton near the location where he was murdered on February 17, 2021. Additionally, a commemorative plaque was placed on this section of 9th Street, renaming it Dr. Huey P. Newton Way in his honor. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're covering all of the legends in our culture. Speaking of that, the video on the screen shares the life of Malcolm X, one of the best leaders of all time. Click on it now to watch. I'll see you over there.
This is the thinnest armor ever. Introducing Hyper Concealable Armor.
The story of Malcolm X is a true American.
Yeah, that was a good story about him with Pete Newton, bro.
Yeah, that was straight.
I ain't, you know what I mean? Like shit, I ain't know all that shit about him. I ain't know he went to China and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Malcolm X went to the other side over there, the Mecca.
Yeah. He went to the other side. They got this one right here. You want to watch this one too?
No, I'm gonna just save it to my thing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Then they gotta watch that one too, though. I ain't gonna even cap to you, man. That Malcolm X, that look live though. Yeah. Huey P. Newton was a prominent figure in the Black history that we don't hear about. We don't never hear about people say Huey P. Newton, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we hear Malcolm X, we hear Martin Luther King, but we don't hear the Fred Hamptons, the Bobby Seals, the the Huey P. Newtons. We don't hear them, bro. They don't shine light on them like that, bro.
They don't want to give them no credit
at all for what they did, bro.
Yeah, they really wanted to be washed out history. Like if we don't talk about it, it might not be talked about.
Type shit. They fed a lot of people, my nigga. Educated a lot of kids. Fed a lot of kids, bro.
They the one that started with.
The one they started with. Exactly, bro. A lot of people don't know that.
They did a lot for the community.
Yeah, salute Florida Water. Yeah, they did a lot for the community, bro.
Did you know? Shout out Florida Water. Did you notice that him and Tukey both came from Louisiana? They both went to the West Coast. Both of them niggas.
They both in the second Great Migration, huh?
Yep.
And the Great Migration was when the blacks left the South to go to places like in California, right?
Yep.
They say they went to places like California. Was it Chicago?
Chicago, New York,
Detroit.
They were trying to get the hell away from the South. That's what they were trying to do.
They got the hell away from the South. And I think that happened. That was just the first. I mean, that was the second one. They had one before then. They went somewhere else before then. What happened to your thing?
I took it down.
Okay. Yeah, bro. It said the government took over WIC. Y'all to say the X, bro, because that get deep. Yeah, he saved the Malcolm X. That shit get deep. But we're gonna give them deep dives. You know what I mean? We gotta give them deep dives, man. You know what I mean? About these different figures that people don't know about, and you know what I mean? This lost history that we have that we don't speak on. You know what I mean? We gotta have this shit. You know what I mean? Before the bullshit, really, bro. Honestly. You gotta feed the people what they want, what they need. Fuck what they want, what they need. Gotta feed the people what they need. People need to hear this. They need to see this shit, type shit. We gotta go dig this type of shit.
It ain't all bad.
It ain't all bad. That's the reason why it's hidden. You know what I mean? For real. Yeah, R.I.P. Fred Hampton. Another FBI assassination. You know what I'm saying? They assassinated Fred Hampton. We seen that. Now we finna go to what's this? Who this? T. Rogers. T. Rogers. Black Peace Stone.
We finna take y'all to the Whoop Nation, man.
Yeah. The man who founded the California Black Peace Stone Bloods. Could take y'all down through there.
T. Rogers has been linked to the West Coast Black P. Stones for over 50 years, known as the man who founded the Los Angeles Blood Gang. But what most people get wrong when bringing up the name T. Rogers is that a blood gang is not what he intended to create. What he wanted was an organization with rules, regulations, and a street code. But as time went on and new generations stopped following the codes that were set in place, his organization changed. So T. Rogers changed too. T. Rogers was born on December 12, 1956. His early childhood years were spent on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. In the 1960s, Southside Chicago was considered one of the most dangerous areas in the city. Widespread unemployment and poverty had destroyed what used to be middle-class neighborhoods, and gangs took over streets and communities. T. Rogers learned about the streets at 7 years old, taught by older kids from his neighborhood. And by the age of 9, he was a member of Chicago's Black Stone Rangers. Formed in the late 1950s by teenagers Jeff Fort and Eugene Hairston, the Black Stone Rangers started out as a group of young men wanting to protect themselves from gangs on Chicago's South Side. But the Black Stone Rangers didn't consider themselves a gang. They were a community organization. There was a president, a vice president, even a spiritual advisor. But over time, as membership grew, the Black Stone Rangers evolved into more of a gang than a community organization. The Rangers' influence spread to other gangs on the South Side, who eventually joined them. And together, they became known as the Ranger Nation.
Yeah, I know he came from Chicago.
And by the late 1960s, the Ranger Nation had become Black P. Stone Nation, ran by different gang leaders called the Main 21. The Main 21 is who gave 13-year-old T. Rogers permission to start a Black P. Stone Nation set in Los Angeles, California. T. Rogers and his family moved to Los Angeles, California in 1969, moving into the LA neighborhood known as the Jungle. Nicknamed the Jungle in the 1950s because of the area's tropical trees and landscaping, the Jungle was once an exclusive Black middle-class neighborhood. But this exclusive neighborhood was not new to gangs. The Jungle Boys had been claiming the jungle as their territory for years before T. Rogers got there. But with T. Rogers' arrival came the Black P. Stone Nation. The change from the Jungle Boys to the Black P. Stone Nation didn't happen overnight. It started with T. Rogers meeting other kids from the neighborhood. He started sharing with them the knowledge and philosophy of the Black P. Stones and began recruiting them to become members of the Stones Nation. While attending Dorsey High School, T. Rogers recruited more members. Then those members recruited members. And within a few years, the West Coast Black P. Stone Nation had numbers in the hundreds. They also became blood affiliated. But T. Rogers never intended to start a blood-affiliated gang. Same as the founders in Chicago, T. Rogers was recruiting to build a community-based organization who would better protect their neighborhood. It was never about being a gang. But even as the Black P. Stones evolved into an LA blood gang, T. Rogers continued holding all of its members to the original philosophy of the Black P. Stones. There were rules, such as Black P. Stone members were required to talk, not fight through their disagreements. Members were also not to rape women or mistreat their elders. And there was a street code. It stated that there was to be no shooting of innocent people, no drive-bys on rival gangs, and no killing between other blood sets. Still a teenager, T. Rogers, who was a natural leader and teacher, taught that being organized with a street code meant the Black P. Stones would be better at controlling conflicts with enemies and better at stopping violence in their neighborhood. But by the mid-1970s, Crip and Blood gangs had expanded all throughout Los Angeles with new generations of members. who didn't follow the same street code. Gangs grew bigger and more vicious, and the streets got more violent. And as issues developed between the Black P-Stones and rival gangs, T. Rogers found himself in the middle of the violence that comes with being a gang member. In the middle of fights, gang wars, and shootings, and by the time he turned 18, he had been shot 4 times and stabbed twice. By 1975, gangs weren't just protecting their neighborhoods, they were killing each other. And T. Rogers was ready for a change. Tired of seeing people losing their lives, T. Rogers decided he wanted to start saving lives.
They walked him into an alley.
Shout out Big Fresh.
Set him on fire. He rolled around, he put himself out. They beat him up again. They set him on fire. They put a carpet over him. Took a 45 automatic, put his knee on his back, and shot him in the back of the head twice. Boy, 15 years old.
So he created Sidewalk University, a Los Angeles-based gang intervention program. Through counseling and workshops, Sidewalk University classes gave gang members the tools to make life choices for themselves that didn't involve gang violence. In 1988, T. Rogers was contacted by NFL Hall of Famer Jim Brown, who had also started a gang intervention program called the AmeriCAM program.
Our program deals with certain components. One of the components that we deal with is peace. It is a bonding of Black men who have stood up and came together. And when they came together, peace has happened to be one of the things on the agenda.
T. Rogers became a national spokesperson for AmeriCAM, a program that not only taught life management skills, but also actively worked in the streets to make peace between warring gangs.
We've always wanted peace. He doesn't want to go to jail. He doesn't want to die. But through the uprising, through the rebellion, we've got a chance to say, hey, look, we came together under this cause. We can make this thing work.
And in 1992, with the combined efforts of the AmeriCAN program, local activists, and LA gang members, a citywide gang truce and peace treaty was established, with several LA gangs agreeing to a ceasefire. This peace treaty successfully reduced gang violence in Los Angeles for years. While working to promote peace in the city, T. Rogers became one of the leading gang experts in Los Angeles. Often referred to as a gangologist, he trained teachers in schools how to deal with gang members. He worked with city officials to develop gang education programs. And he's been quoted in almost every news article referencing gangs and gang violence in LA since the 80s. T. Rogers wasn't only known for his work in the streets. He was also known for becoming one of the first gang members in LA to work in mainstream movies and television, appearing in over 30 movies, videos, and TV shows. But no matter how famous T. Rogers got, he never left the jungles or stopped helping the community. If you were to have asked someone at the time, how do I find T. Rogers? They'd have told you to just call his phone. He'll answer. Men, women, kids. T. Rogers and his Sidewalk University helped everyone for decades. He helped families get money for bail and funerals. He personally counseled people through abuse and trauma. He wrote books, developed self-help programs. He helped hundreds of gang members in LA find jobs. And the list goes on. Whatever T. Rogers could do to show people a different way other than gang violence, he did it. He even created a board game called Run Gangs Out, made in 1993. From a gang founder and member to his work as an activist and teacher, T. Rogers put in blood, sweat, tears, and over 50 years into the streets. And although he did have his own biological children, he also had a whole community who looked up to him as a father figure. And to them, T. Rogers dedicated his whole life to teaching nonviolence and forgiveness. On August 19th, 2021, at the age of 64, T. Rogers passed away. Today, the jungle is officially called Baldwin Village, a name change that happened in the late 80s by the city of LA to try and distance the jungles from its gang history. But the Black Peace Stones still exist there. And although work continues to be done in the community to stop gang violence, it too still exists. And T. Rogers is no longer here to help stop it. But the number of lives that T. Rogers changed and saved from violence while he was here is impossible to count. And it's why he'll always be a California legend.
Okay.
Building your online business.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So T. Rogers just died not too long ago, 3 years ago.
21, 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. He died not too long ago. And he did a lot of shit. I didn't know he was in Colors and in 21 Jump Street in 89. Shit like that.
A lot of movies.
Yeah. So see, this is shit that we don't talk about. This is shit that we don't know. They mention T. Rogers, nigga. We think about the gang part of it. We think about him forming Black Peace Stones. We don't think about the gangs and the Sidewalk University and things like that he created to prevent these things from happening and kids harming kids. And he was trying to stop that shit too at the same time, just like Tuki. You know what I'm saying? Shit, these guys is a real stand-up man, bro, that was trying to really save the community, bro, and the people that was in it.
We all live and learn, they made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Once they got older, they seen the mistakes they made, they try to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So they owned up to their mistakes,
Yeah.
The white man ain't gonna never let you live that down, though.
Yeah. For real. They're not gonna really let that leak out. You know what I'm
They gonna
saying?
keep all the bad shit out. They gonna let the good shit leak out.
We gotta really search and go grab this type of information and present this shit to people.
Or been part of that history where you can talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, bro. That type of shit is real. Man. I'm just glad that we able to give the people that, you know what I'm saying, for real, find these videos and give these people this type of shit, you know what I mean, that they want, you know what I mean, or that they need, you know what I mean. It's good shit. I'm enjoying this shit. I ain't gonna even lie, sitting back and watching this shit because I'm watching this shit for the first time, just like y'all. Shit, I'm sitting back. My mind blown too. Shit, no dig.
Some of them I seen. I ain't gonna say I seen them all. I be watching all kind of shit.
Yeah, but I ain't seen these. I ain't gonna even cap. I ain't seen these. What we on GDs?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy G, and today we get an inside look into the GDs.
GD folk, GD folk, GD folk, GD folk, D-side folk, D-side
I got all my D, got in my bed. Beefing about a bitch, oh, that she said me.
I felt like breaking out this shirt.
Yeah, man, that's the official 6 Block Taliban Big Dogs Got to Eat t-shirt.
The origin story of the Gangster Disciples takes us to Chicago in the 1960s during an era of civil rights and social unrest. In 1964, 13-year-old Larry Hoover joined a small gang called the Supreme Gangsters. This crew beefed with a group called the Black Disciples, a squad led by a man named David Barksdale. After a 5-year gang war, the two groups announced a ceasefire, and under the leadership of Larry Hoover, these two groups united to form the Gangster Disciples. Growing quickly, they recruited heavily from jails and prisons and eventually established themselves in many states around the country. Supporters of the Gangster Disciples say that GDs are a community group that focus on growth and development of their members, and that important to the group is community service and doing things like feeding the homeless and doing back-to-school drives for the kids. However, the U.S. Department of Justice says that the Gangster Disciples and their 30,000 members nationwide are a criminal enterprise involved in racketeering, the sale of narcotics, and violent activities. I head to Kansas City, Missouri to attend a regional cookout of the Gangster Disciples and tap in with rapper Young Blue as my guide for this journey. Let's hit the streets. Today, folks, we're going to be taking an inside look at the Gangster Disciples, which feels crazy to even be saying that we're going to be doing that. talking to folks and learning what it's like to be part of the crew, part of the organization, what they stand for, what they're about. But I think in some way, everyone is part of a gang or wants to be part of a gang. And a gang has a bad connotation. Everyone wants belonging. They want tribe. They want brotherhood. Different people have different ways of building that. I had a big sense of that with my wrestling team in high school and college. I think it's lonely being a man in this world right now. Like when you're a grown-ass man, you graduate from high school or college, like your community shrinks. And I think being a man is a lonely experience for a lot of people. And I'm always interested in how people fight against that. So we're going to meet with a Kansas City chapter of the Gangster Disciple organization. So first up, Young Blue Spot, we're going to talk to the group, get a feel for them, meet them, and then we'll go to the big organization meeting. We'll see you there.
Kansas City.
Folks, we are at an undisclosed location in Kansas City, Missouri. And fellas, what are we doing today?
Man, we taking them behind the scenes, man. We with the Gangster Disciples today, man. Growth and Development Fracture, Kansas City, 6 Block Taliban with the guys to this barbecue, man. Y'all finna see what it's like.
Wait, so we're invited to the barbecue?
Yeah, man, you invited to the barbecue.
Yes. Okay, so fellas, what is happening today? Like, we have people around the country coming in, around the region, and what's going on?
We got a couple of different cities within Missouri coming. So we got St. Louis, we got a couple of our guys from Springfield, a couple of our little brothers from Warrensburg, Missouri. Got some guys from Charleston. You know what I'm saying? They coming out today, fellowship and politic and kicking. You did?
Okay, and you guys are about to go to a meeting that we're not allowed to attend?
Yes, most definitely.
What the hell is that about? Why can't I come?
Man, it's confidential information. Confidential.
We don't have to give any classified information, but is there like a general theme you guys are covering today?
We don't discuss that. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you have like this is like top secret information that only members have access to.
Facts.
So question, are you guys looking for additional members? And also, would you let white boys from Milwaukee join?
Not looking for no extra members, and no.
These fellas are going to take care of business. They're going to join them for a barbecue, ask some questions, have a good old time. Anything else to add to that, fellas?
No, sir. No, sir. That's it.
No, sir. All right. Moment of truth. They got done with their secret meeting. They summoned us. They said we can come by. So here we go. GD's, Gangster Disciples. Let's talk to the people and see what they think about gangs. When you hear the word gang, what does that make you think?
Gang can be anything in a group of people. Maybe violence.
Usually it's gang violence. You usually think about that. Probably California. I mean, with all like your Hells Angels, Bloods, Crips, stuff like that.
Gangs to me is a group of people coming together to establish some form of power.
Have you ever heard of the Gangster Disciples?
Of course.
No.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I have not.
I've heard the name, but I don't know exactly what it is.
If you had a brother that said, hey man, I'm going to go join a gang, what would you think?
I'd tell him no.
Yeah?
I'd ask him, well, what gang? Because, I mean, you have the chess club gang. I mean, it's...
Depends on what the gang represents. I don't know.
I probably wouldn't be too happy with him. I would hope that he wouldn't be leading down that path where he felt he had to be in a gang like that.
We're about to go to a barbecue with a bunch of Gangster Disciples. Any advice you got from me?
I don't know. You know, good luck to you. Take care. Be careful. Show them respect, and you should be fine.
Be respectful.
How do you think my outfit is?
Respectful. You look comfortable. Y'all brothers enjoy y'all day.
We're debuting a beautiful shirt today. Big Dog's Got Eat. It was designed by a man that's been featured in Vogue, collaborated with Levi's. Like, I'm pulling out all the stops to give you guys good shit. So if you want to join my gang, Big Dog's Gotta Eat, TommyGMiggy.com. I'll see you guys there. We got blue, we got black, rock the gang. It's us versus mainstream media. First, a message from our sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to pick the right players to make your team win. Do you want to pick Allie that drops the ball every damn time? Blue 42! Gosh, Allie! Or do you want to be like Gracie, who comes in clutch like a champ?
Touchdown!
If you're into sports betting, boy, does DraftKings have an offer for you.
New customers that download the app and bet $5 get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's fast.
Use code BIGDOG when signing up to get this offer.
Download the app on your phone today.
Back to the video.
Where are we right now?
We in Swope, man. We in Kansas City, Missouri, man. Posted at Swope Park, man, with the guys, man. Y'all know what's going on.
And what's happening here? We got barbecue, we got a cookout.
Yeah, we got a family cookout with the guys, you know what I'm saying? The membership. We just here politicking, fellowship, and you know what I'm saying, building camaraderie with the guys.
What made you join this organization?
I wanted to be a part of something that was going to be productive. I started this organization when I was a young man, and I saw the guys getting together with the younger people, really keep them out of trouble, protect them from the streets, drug crime, stuff like that. I've been in this organization since I've been like 15. I'm 46 years old.
And what are the biggest benefits you've gotten from being in the GDs?
It taught me how to be a man.
Yeah.
It taught me how to raise my family. Principles that we stand on that conducive to the celebration of any man, any neighborhood, any organization. Matter of fact, I got 2 of my sons here with me today. They are part of this organization. And as a father, I wouldn't put them in nothing that would be harmful to them.
So what does it mean to be a man? I feel like there's questions. People don't even know what women are anymore. You know what I mean? Like we're having interesting conversations in society, but what does it mean to be a man?
Man, standing on your beliefs, you know what I'm saying? Standing on what you believe and standing firm on it. You know what I'm saying? Not letting anybody change your mind. You dig? About how you feel about what you feel about.
What made you motivated or interested to join this organization?
Joined it when I was 12 years old. You know, like brother said, you know, it's a lifestyle. It's how we move. It's how we walk. It's how we talk. It's how we conduct ourselves.
So I'm curious about the symbols. What does this mean?
Man, that's the Star of David, man. You know what I'm saying? That means love, life, loyalty, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Is that a Jewish thing?
Man, it's a GD thing.
GD thing?
Yeah.
Okay. But do Jewish folks also wear the same stars?
Yeah, most definitely.
So we talked to a couple of people, like citizens, and I asked them, what do you think about the word gang or organization? And a lot of people had a bad connotation to that. Why do you think that is?
Because, man, when you say gang, that's something treacherous. You dig what I'm saying? That's why when you ask us, oh, what are you in the gang? Nah, we correct you with the organization. You know what I'm saying? It sounds more friendly, too. You dig
on the drive here, what I was thinking about is you could argue that McDonald's is a hamburger cartel, you know, make America fat. You could say that Big Pharma is a drug gang organization. You guys agree with those thoughts?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess it's all just how you think about it.
It depends on the point of view of how you coming with it. You feel me?
That's what it is. And gangs hurt maliciously. We don't do that.
Yeah, and then like another thing, what you do as an individual reflect on the whole organization. So we hold you accountable for that. Like,
So I feel like that's a big piece that's missing from a lot of places I visited is accountability. Like it's kind of like young guns are just running wild, doing whatever the hell they want.
That's a gang.
That's a gang.
That's a gang.
Nobody's organized. Everybody doing their own thing. We're not a gang because we're all organized.
So what does the code of conduct look like? Like what can get you in trouble or what makes you like
stealing, raping?
Yeah.
We don't do none of that.
And then you want me to teach you one thing while you out here?
Let's do it.
If what you notice about everybody's shoes out here?
Ain't nobody wearing Crocs.
Can't do that.
What? Did I just violate the code?
Yeah, you breaching security right now. Well, if somebody want to fight you right now and then you got on these, you gonna slip up out of it?
Hey, he got him in sport mode for y'all got to the ball right now.
Can we make an exception if it's in sports mode?
If it's in sports mode, you might get away, depending on what my brother say. You know what I'm saying? My brother don't be tolerating the breaching of security. It is.
Okay, so I made my first violation. Am I kicked out? Do I have to go home? Or
You gotta take these mouth shots real quick, folks.
So that's another thing is I've heard like a lot of negativity about like 9-to-5 jobs. Like a lot of people hate on that shit. What do you think about that?
Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you some real stuff, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. I used to be like that. I used to be thinking, oh, the lame niggas is the one with 9-to-5s until I went to prison, bro. I did 10 years, bro, wasting my time. Didn't see my daughter, none of that. No, I was the lame, bro, because I'm just sitting here with my daughter getting raised outside by somebody else, bro. It's pointless, bro.
You know, input on that. You say why people don't want to work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, patience and discipline is key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got patience or discipline, you ain't nothing. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should be able to want to go work that 9 to 5 to provide for yourself, your family, your child, your family, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to look out for people that are homeless, you know what I'm saying? You'll walk past somebody that ain't doing as well as you feel me? You got money in your pocket, you might give it to them because they need it more than you. You feel me? It's all about discipline and patience.
A lot of people, bro, don't understand slow money, bro, but slow money is the good money. Because fast money gonna get you gone, bro, because you're gonna spend it just as fast as you get it.
My name is Keyshawn. I've been using Kickoff for about 8 months now. My credit score went up about 100.
What is the organization's stance on fatherhood? I've noticed a few guys talk about the importance of that.
If you lacking in your child life, man, this ain't the good organization for you because we're going to hold you accountable for that. Because, you know what I'm saying, this organization produce positive, productive people. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't taking care of your priorities, man, this ain't for you, for real.
Well, if my brothers can't protect their own children, how you can protect your own brother?
So how has being in this organization impacted your life?
Man, you know, let me tell you something, bro. Before I was GD, let me tell you something. I probably run around, bro, act crazy, breaking people's houses, stealing cars, all that. But let me tell you something, bro. My dad, he's not GD. He's not. He's Crip. It's a difference, bro. Let me tell you something. GD show you how to be a man, bro. It show you how to, you got to stand on principles and laws. Because a lot of people, bro, that's why they don't want to be GD. That's why they want to be in other games, because you can't stand on law, bro. You can't, because at the end of the day, if I'm trying, you got something nice on, I'm trying to take it off you, bro. Well, I can go do the same thing you doing right now. I ain't got to rob you for that. But they going to make sure I don't rob you for that. Because they going to stand on my line. Like, hey, bro, you know you ain't supposed to be, holler at us real quick, bro.
Does anyone here have bars they got to spit, or they?
Yeah, come on, get him. Go on and spit some shit.
I came a long way from shaving rocks and pushing corners. L ain't no bars in a minute. They say my rhymes was over. Ain't no stopping me. Nigga being patient just made them potent. Had to cater to my family, but I think I cooked that over. Had to work up on myself to get my demons back in order. Kept my dreams full of the things. Reality was getting harder. For bagging checks, we worked to death. Trying to feed our sons and daughters. And it's an honor on the boss to be a motherfucking father. If I die, I'll be a stain up on that block. It's getting harder.
Let's go. Hey!
Let's dive into some of the symbols and lingo used by the Gangster Disciples. One of their primary symbols is the six-sided star. This stands for the 6 principles of Gangster Disciples: life, loyalty, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and love. They are also represented by the pitchfork, which symbolizes the struggle to overcome oppression. They frequently say sevenfold, which stand for the 7th and 4th letter of the alphabet, GD. It's widely speculated that the initiation for the Gangster Disciples is to be beaten by other members, known as being jumped in. So to commit to join this group, this is not a commitment to be taken lightly.
What are some misconceptions someone might have about GDs?
That every GD that rap is a GD.
You already know.
Yeah, just misrepresenting this thing for real. You got everybody screaming GD this, GD that, and the people that saying GD this, GD that, not even GD.
Describe being a GD in 3 words.
Being a gangster, a provider, being respectful.
Love, life, and loyalty.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Man, growth, man, for real. First, you're a man. You gotta be a provider, and you gotta take care of what you gotta take care of. Yeah, you gotta be willing.
You gotta be willing to endure your share of part of this right here. You feel me? Not everybody can say. That's why we don't allow people to just say they GD. Because you got
people
people.
earlier that I wasn't allowed to join today. They said
got some Crocs on.
So what I want to ask you about is, tell me about the history of the GDs. How do they come apart? How do they start? And where have they gone over the years?
Oh man. That's long. Woo. You ready for okay. GDs evolved was really started around the same time as the Black Panther Party movement and stuff like that, where blacks were being victimized by the police brutality during that era where police was victimizing the community. So black gangs and organizations formed to protect the communities. That was the original intent of these organizations. Even CRIP. The acronym for CRIP is Community Revelation and Progress. The acronym for Blood is Brotherly Love Overcomes Destruction. The original intent was to protect the community. But with all things, some people introduce a criminal element into it. You know, like the feds infiltrated our neighborhoods, pushed cocaine into our neighborhoods, pushed guns and drugs into our neighborhood. And then the project or the vision of the original vision becomes corrupted. You know? So yes, GDs did have a dark history, which is known to most people as Gangster Disciples.
There's some cities where the GD factions are known for being just crazy violent. How does the organization deal with that?
Through knowledge, through teaching, through reaching out to each person. We've had people that come from those very cities that you're talking about.
Some here right now.
Right now. And when they get here, they have to come and have an understanding and listen, we're not about that. And if you want to be a part of a brotherhood that's going to help you accelerate your mind and the way you live and change the way you're thinking, because that's how you change men.
Tell me about how you guys help the community.
Man, we get out here, man. It depends, man. You know, Missouri got all type of weather. So depending on how the weather is, we'll get out here and cater to the people that's out here that's homeless. Like, say, for instance, if it's winter or something, it's cold outside, we'll bring some clothes or some hand warmers and some food. You know what I'm saying? When it's hot like that, we come through with water, pizza, you know what I'm saying? And trying to carry whatever, hygiene and stuff like that.
Is that important to you guys?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. You can't be a stinky GD. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Even when we feed the homeless, man, we make sure they eat before we even eat. We don't eat.
Ladies and gentlemen, man. This was an inside look at the GDs. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You already know it, brother.
What kind of final thoughts or message do you have to the audience?
Man, grow and develop, man. Struggle, breed greatness, man. Stay on your six, man, at all times, man. Keep it pushing. Don't let nobody tell you not to push it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And shit, keep your head on the swivel, most definitely.
If you're part of an interesting organization, I don't care if you're Hells Angels, Antifa, KKK, the Bloods, I want to come hang out with you, see what your life's about, hear your story. So hit me up at TommyGMcGee123@gmail.com. All right, guys. Love you guys. See you next week.
Oh yeah, I think they still on that bullshit, huh? They was trying to the right word, but you know, that's Kansas City. Them young niggas.
I ain't gonna say they on the bullshit, man. You probably gonna have some of them, but I think they from the talk and listening to them, I feel like they more organized.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you're always supposed to be held accountable. So that's how everything started. All the games, like they said, bro. It wasn't about fighting each other. It was to protect our communities from the white man, from the laws. You know what I'm saying? Protect our kids and shit. So over time, the shit changed, like you said, with the drugs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like just listening to them, you know, they got more they head on the shows than a lot of other gangs. Even if they're just talking the bullshit and not really about the action, they got more they head on it because a lot of other gangs ain't even, you know what I'm saying, talking knowledge. Them niggas talking knowledge. So, you know, I salute them. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's what we need. You know, you can learn from anybody, bro.
They got their head in the game.
Yeah, that's straight. I like it, man, and I can rock with them. You know what I'm saying? Shit, they giving out jewels. You know what I'm saying? You know, they helping the homeless. You don't see a lot of motherfuckers doing that, helping the homeless.
Yeah,
I know I don't, because I don't even like the homeless like that. You know, it's sad for me to say it, but it's true. It ain't that I don't like them. It's just the shit they be doing. You know, like they won't hand out instead of trying to help themselves type shit.
Yeah, I see Judge. I see you, Judge. I see why you do what you do now. You know what I mean? Growth and development.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got their way of doing
things. Yeah. Excuse me. That was a good little segment, man. You know, we took them to the crib side. We took them to the Black Panther, the Peace Stone, GD. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We've been down that road, man.
Yeah. I think we got one more, don't we?
Yeah, we got one more, man. We got one more for y'all.
You got one more for your mind. Let a player come through.
And it's gonna be a good one. Think y'all will like it, man.
Yeah, we think y'all like this one.
Today, we talk about an 8-tray Crip gangster who was involved with countless murders and acts of violence. At the age of 13, he beat up and stomped out one of his victims for 20 minutes. It was so violent the victim was in a coma and permanently left the man's face disfigured. A newspaper article said this can only be the work of a monster. Let's get into the story of Monster Cody Scott.
Monster Cody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm. He brought somebody's arm back to a meeting, and that was Jay Blake's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School. They couldn't even open his casket, sir. And that day, it was 3 funerals. When I seen that interview that he did, and he just like had no remorse, you know.
A lot of people thought that when he wrote that in his book, he was exaggerating.
No, it was true. It was true.
Cody Dejon Scott was born on November 13th, 1963 in Los Angeles. He was raised by his mother, Bertie Canada, and his father, Ernest Scott. He was the fifth of 6 children, 4 brothers and 2 sisters. His father, Ernest, didn't like Cody. It was rumored that Cody was not his biological son, and his mom had an affair on him with Los Angeles running back Dick Bass, and allegedly is Cody's real father. Ernest let it be known his hate for his son Cody because he would abuse him and show his other kids more love. Birthdays and holidays, he wouldn't get any presents. When his parents divorced, his father only took his brothers and sisters on trips and vacations, which devastated the young Cody. His godfather was the great legend Ray Charles, who would sometimes give him Christmas presents. When his mom and father divorced around 1972, this led to his mom moving to West 69th Street, Dinker Avenue, which is located in South Central Los Angeles, which was surrounded by gangs.
His house on 69th and Dinker sat in the heart of 8-Tray Gangsta Crips territory, one of the more lethal and highly respected gangs in the city.
Cody Scott had his first run-in with the gangs at the age of 10, where he was jumped by 2 13-year-olds that stole his money. His mom worked multiple odd jobs and was rarely home. He found a new home in the streets. He started to hang with Crip founder Stanley Williams, a.k.a. Tukey, who was a legend in the streets.
One of the leaders over at Mona Park, and he upset Tukey, and Tukey grabbed him in the mouth and lifted him off the ground, one hand, and explained to him, I am the undisputed leader of the Crips.
Tukey and other gang members would do drugs such as PCP and lift weights around young Cody. In 1975, 11-year-old Cody Scott was jumped in the 8-Tray Gangsta Crips, also known as ETGC. His initiation for the gang was to kill another rival gang, which was 15 Brims, which was a blood set. Cody and other people from the 8-Trays stole a car, retrieved more gang members going to the rival hood. They were armed with revolvers and shotguns, and Cody had a 12-gauge shotgun and was instructed to use all of his ammo. When they got to the destination, they opened fire. Cody killed another kid around his age. This changed his life forever. The killing excited him, and he knew he could do it again. Cody was getting into more violence. 13-year-old Cody and another 8-Tray Crip member named Trey Bell robbed an older black man. The man punched Cody in the face, and then Cody proceeded to stomp him out for 20 minutes. Trey Bell had to restrain Cody from hurting the man even more. The man was so severely beaten that he was in a coma, and his face was permanently disfigured. When the police arrived at the crime scene, they said only a monster would do such a heinous crime. Other fellow 8-Tray Crips overheard and relayed the message to Cody about what the police said. And at this point, the 8-Tray Crips started to call Cody by the moniker Monster. On February 14th, 1979, even as his reputation grew, so did the scrutiny of law enforcement. Cody's reign of terror was abruptly interrupted when he found himself behind bars, charged with assault and grand theft auto, and he had to serve 9 months at Camp Munez in Lake Hugh, California. While incarcerated, tension simmered on the streets between the 8-Tray Gangsta Crips and the Rollin' 60 Crips. Upon his release, Cody found himself deeply entrenched in the conflict against the Rollin' 60s, unleashing terror upon their ranks. However, fate took a dark turn in the cusp of New Year's Eve in 1980. 3 women seemingly betrayed Cody, luring him into a trap at an unsuspecting location. There, in a cruel twist of fate, Members of the Rolling 60s Crip unleashed a hail of bullets upon him at point-blank range, and he was shot 5 times.
It was right here in 1980, December 31st, where my brother and another homie coming out of the surplus were accosted by 2 of them cats from across Western. Shot my brother 5 times right here.
If you work with vocals, let me show you how to save tons of time and still get professional results. It's called Xvox. It's like having 10 plugins all in one. Check this out.
Everything right, my love, my life with you.
As Cody strolled towards the entrance of the surplus store, 3 members of a rival gang, the Rolling 60s, approached and fired shots hitting his stomach, back, and limbs from point-blank range.
Cody was riddled with bullets and was rushed to the hospital. Cody's life hung in the balance and met with callous indifference from law enforcement, who muttered chilling remarks at the hospital about his fate, saying that they should have let him die and stopped working on him. Meanwhile, Cody's younger brother, Krishan, gripped by a volatile mix of fury and sorrow, sought vengeance. And Krishan unleashed a storm of retaliation and orchestrated a series of brazen drive-by shootings in the heart of the Rolling 60s territory. Tragically, a teenage bystander was caught in the crossfire and was murdered. As Cody fought for survival in the hospital, the threat to his life persisted. A member of the Rolling 60s Crip was determined to finish the job and kill Cody. Yet in a stroke of fortune and swift intervention, a village nurse was able to stop him from entering Cody's room. After 7 weeks of recovery, Cody Scott slowly gained his strength, yet the streets still held their grip on him. On a routine trip to the grocery store with his mother, he found himself face to face with a rival gang member. In a split-second decision, he fired a warning shot before swiftly escorting his mother to safety. Meanwhile, his girlfriend, later to become his wife, grew wary of the constant danger and instability of their neighborhood. She yearned for a safer, more promising future for their family, and made it clear that she was prepared to leave, with or without him. Moved by her determination, Cody made a difficult decision to leave the streets behind. Settling into a suburban life, Cody endeavored to leave his past behind and embrace a new beginning. He secured a job at a college and began to envision a future free from the violence and the chaos of gang life. However, the lure of the streets proved too strong, pulling him back into their grasp. During this time, a harrowing incident stands out. Cody and his associates perpetrated a brutal attack on a rival gang member, leaving him mutilated and discarded at Jefferson Davis High School, cut his arm off, and he celebrated. This chilling account is corroborated by Lisa Burke McKnight. A witness to the neighborhood turmoil sheds light on the brutality that defied Cody's world.
Monster Cody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm. He brought somebody's arm back to a meeting, and that was Jay Blake's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School. They couldn't even open his casket, sir. In that day, it was 3 funerals. When I seen that interview that he did, and he just had no remorse, you know.
Despite his efforts to break free from the cycle of violence, Cody's encounter with the law enforcement escalated, resulting in frequent arrests. In 1991, he was convicted of grand theft auto. While incarcerated, he started to be haunted with the things he did, and he started to write. And this would change his life forever, for good and the bad. While in prison, Cody Scott changed his name to Sanika Shakur and joined the Republic of New Africa, and had a new outlook of his life. He wanted to write about his life to show how the streets can be deadly and how he was a byproduct of his environment. When he finished his book, he gave his book to his brother. His brother travels to New York to find a publisher. The book was so intriguing that it was a bidding war on who would publish it. The book came out May 1993 and was a national bestseller. It gave him critical acclaim from extensive news publications like New York Times.
Los Angeles Times called him a walking, stalking, incarcerated end product of America's assault on the black psyche. The New York Times praised the book as a raw and frightening portrait of gang life.
Now he subdued the literary world with a memoir that some have compared to the autobiography of Malcolm X and Eldridge Cleaver's Soul on Ice. He is handsome, bright, and articulate, but he won't be making the rounds of the talk shows or book parties.
Back up. I'm on the door. Face the wall over here.
He is presently occupied at the Pelican Bay State Prison, the Devil's Island of the California penal system, where he's serving a 7-year sentence for robbery and assault, indisposed to all but carefully screened guests.
There's also rumored that movie studios wanted to turn his book into a movie. Even celebrities such as Tupac were big fans and spoke with Sanika.
Sanika, what's up? It's about True Flair. Hey, I got the message you was trying to send, but they had me on the Hannibal Lecter trip. Yeah, I was wondering what happened because they do that to me too when I was up in there. Yeah, I heard.
The book was also made him a street legend. He was released from prison in 1995. And when he first came out, he tried to convince other gangbangers to revert their ways to something more positive and also teach them about African-American culture and history. Everything seemed to go his way, but he also knew that some people would try to torment him due to the book and to see if he was gangster or not. And also from the victims' families. Despite all the success, he reverted to the streets over the years. He was going in and out of prison and also started to do heavy drugs. On June 6, 2021, Sanika was found dead in a homeless encampment in Oceanside, California. The cause of death was a stroke. He was 57 years old when he passed away. To this day, this book is still read around the world and gives an understanding of street life and gangbanging. I hope you enjoyed this doc. Please make sure you click the notification button and like button and subscribe. Stay blessed and peace.
Another story of a nigga who started out going, you know what I mean, wilding out as a young nigga and trying to revert and change his life, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Same story.
Yeah, it always end the same. Start out the same and it end the same. It's a cycle, man. For some reason,
cycle, bro. You're right.
They're just kind of like with us. We all started out on some shit, and then we all trying to, do different shit. It's a cycle.
Yeah,
it's gonna get better though. It's gonna start sticking. The youngsters coming up starting off on the same shit. When they get our age, they gonna, they're gonna get it right. All we can try to do is tell them right now, give them a little insight.
Yeah. You tell them, hold on, just live long enough, youngster.
Yeah. Change gonna come.
Nah, for real, just live long enough, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Change gonna come, my nigga. You know what I mean? Shit. Making mistakes as a youngster, my nigga, don't define who you is for the rest of your life, bro. You see these men, they change. They, even though they might not have been, the people might kill them, or some people that he did wrong to might have came back. You know what I mean? But at least he tried to balance it out before he got out of here. At least he tried to change it up before he got out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because only a damn fool would be still on that bullshit, bro. On that bullshit, bro.
You got a lot of them that is.
I know. And wonder why the fuck these niggas still on the bullshit. Wonder why these niggas on the bullshit.
Yep,
don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. At all. Man, what? That's all the videos we got right there.
We got the Mexican video.
I think we should say that to another time.
Let me see.
We done dropped enough gems that you know that cartel shit. That you know that's a different feeling at the moment than what we done already shown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got the book.
Yeah, I got the book.
You want to read? You feel like reading today?
Yeah, I'll read it. I ain't tripping.
What y'all want to read? Y'all want to? What you got over there? You got something else over there? You look like you looking for something.
No, I was on a computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was scrolling through the video and shit. Yeah, I got the book. I mean, shit. Is it what you want to do?
Shit, yeah. It was,
Yeah,
shit,
I'm
we
down.
are 40 minutes. We are over 40 in. Salute Kurt Dog. 1,000 Kurt Dogs. Talk that shit, man. Real nigga shit. What was you reading from the other day? I tuned in late. From Niggas to Gods, right?
Yeah, part 1. I got both parts, part 1 and part 2.
We on part 1 from Niggas to Gods.
So you want me to do that one again?
Yeah, we can do that.
So we on chapter 4?
We on chapter 4.
All right. We on chapter 4. This is called I Have a Dream.
Okay.
I have a dream. These words was made famous when our great brother Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. so eloquently expressed his vision of what America should be and could be. This courageous black man captured the attention of the entire nation as he stood up before thousands in Washington, D.C., delivering his most famous speech, I Have a Dream. Dr. King was a very sincere and determined leader who made great accomplishments toward the liberation of our people. But there was a problem. There was indeed a problem. There was a problem with Dr. King's dream. The problem was that Dr. King was dreaming during a time of blatant reality. Dr. King's dream was to obtain American dream for the black people, but he didn't realize that we were obviously already had that American dream. All that black people ever had was the American dream. We are asleep having the American dream, while white folks are wide awake having an American dream reality. We are sleepwalking black zombies walking around in the days within the American dream. We are mentally, spiritually, economically, productively, socially, biologically, and absolutely dead asleep. The American dream is your sleeping pill, and your oppressors have tried to tuck you in permanently by telling you constant bedtime lies. Now at this critical hour, we have to wake up and look back at our mistakes from the past and learn. We have to come to the serious, objective, and honest reality that Dr. King's methodology can no longer be used in our struggle towards liberation. White people would love for us to hold on to Dr. King's philosophy so that they can keep kicking our black asses. Why do you think that white society tries to constantly shove Dr. King down our throats? They honor and celebrate Dr. King because they want us to be nonviolent dreamers. We have got to look at this situation for what it is and nothing else. We love Dr. King and all of his great accomplishments, but now over 20 years later, we can no longer uphold his early philosophies and methodology. Black people cannot continue to uphold Dr. King's philosophies any longer because these are totally different times. They call for totally different philosophies. This is not the I have a dream generation. This generation is not really having the American dream. We are having the American nightmare. Yes, that's right, American nightmare. Oh, what happened? Am I still here?
Yeah, you still here.
Okay, my camera had cut off. Okay. My picture's just not up there. It must have cut off. Okay. I was make sure I can hear me. I looked up.
Okay, my bad. I'll take you down. You still up?
Yeah, all right. I know. I was making sure y'all can hear me because it might need to reload again, but I ain't gonna mess with it. All right, cool.
Yeah. We good.
You know what I was saying? Absolute truth, because you were not dreaming when you saw your youngest black brother die instantaneously after an overdose of crack cocaine. You were not dreaming when you felt that cold black barrel of a loaded pistol placed at your temple of your black head as you gave up all your money, your jacket and shoes. You were not dreaming when you were running and ducking for cover from a flurry of bullets fired into a crowd of black people just for the hell of it. You were not dreaming when your black father walked out of the house 20 years ago and never came back, leaving your black mother all alone with 6 black mouths to feed. You were not dreaming when you heard about the little 4-year-old black girl who was killed while playing outside on the sidewalk because she was caught between the crossfire of a drug war. You were not dreaming when you came home and found your 13-year-old black sister collapsed on the bathroom floor after she tried to commit suicide because her track coach at school raped her and got her pregnant. You were not dreaming when you frantically and recklessly drove to the hospital trying to save your black best friend who lay in your backseat bleeding from a gunshot wound to the neck after an argument at a party, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. You were not dreaming when your black self was 10 years old watching your oldest brother's naked black body convulsing in the middle of the street until he died from a heart attack while using PCP. You were not dreaming when your black mother looked you straight in your black eyes and told you that she wished that she had aborted your black ass when you was born because it's too much hell trying to feed and clothe you, all by her black self. These situations of real black life had nothing to do with American dream. This has been and continue to be an American nightmare for millions of sleeping black people lost in the wilderness of a strange land among strange people. This is us. For the end of life, Dr. King began to wake up into the cold and harsh realities of the world. Upon his awakening, he became a threat to the powers that be because of his great influence over his people. The powers that be feared that he might stop preaching, we shall overcome, and start preaching revolution. Their fears caused them to murder Dr. King in his prime. Now, if we begin to wake up also, I wonder what actions will be taken against us. Our American dream of the past has turned into our American nightmare of the present. As long as we are just asleep having a dream, we wanted to remain asleep to avoid the reality of open eyes. But now that our dream has turned into a nightmare, we no longer want to remain asleep. We would now do anything to wake up and escape the constant nightmare. No sane or even insane person wants to remain asleep during a nightmare because the only way to escape the horrors of the nightmare is to awaken and open your eyes. So wake up, black man and black woman. Wake up and put an end to this constant nightmare. Open your eyes, open your ears, open your mind into a full consciousness of true reality. This is the only way to end this nightmare. We should not have been having this nightmare if we wouldn't have been trying to dream so damn much in the first place. Also, we wouldn't be trying to dream if we had not allowed ourselves to be put to sleep. We were a nation full of sleepwalking black zombies, but this is now the time of the awakening. It is very difficult to sleep peacefully in this strange house among these strange people. So awaken, arise, you mighty black nation, arise. Arise and awaken into the light of the sun and escape the slumber of the devil and his nightmare. It is all up to you. Now is the time. Bible, Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 through 15. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and in honor of the great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, assuredly, that thy seed shall be a stranger of the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also their nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out of their great substance. And thou shalt go into thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. That was that chapter.
Good shit. Good shit.
You want me to go to the next one or what?
Yeah, go to the next one. Keep going.
Chapter 4. This is chapter 5. It's called If the Black Woman is a Bitch, That Make You a Son of a Bitch. If the black woman is nothing but a bitch, that directly makes you a son of a bitch. Have you ever thought about that, my brothers? The black woman is not someone who you can just carelessly disrespect, dishonor, or dishearten. She is not to be dissed in any way. Have you lost your natural black mind? Obviously, the answer is absolutely yes. We have lost our natural black mind along our natural black eyes, black ears, black spirit, and our black common sense. We are at a critical time in history, but you fail to realize the fact because you have lost the sense of perception. Something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with your thinking and your vision. So since you are restrained by those handicaps, you don't think straight and you don't see straight. So therefore, don't act straight, and your ignorance shows. You manifest in forms of a complete fool. Let's look at this thing. Since when did black women become these bitches and hoes that you are trying to make them out to be? Where did you get that childish, weak-minded, ignorant, savage, beast-like frame of mind from? Male chauvinist is not our historical problem. So give that illness back to the fools that you caught it from. We come from a history of black gods and black goddesses. Not black gods, not black bitches. Where in the hell did this get this crazy mindset from? Who in the hell taught you to think on that level? You have historically had nothing but love, honor, and respect for God's black women. So why have you lost your minds now? Your sisters are not bitches, and you are not niggas. This nigga, bitch, whole mentality is something new that you learn from the wicked oppressor. God made man and woman. God didn't make nigga and bitch. So who made the nigga and who made the bitch? You can answer this question because you were there when the real bitch was made. To understand this, you must first examine the hell of physical slavery and its psychological effect on us. The plantation is a hellified place where hellified crimes are committed by hellified people, which left us in this hellified condition. So only we can get us the hell out of it. And you have to come out of this hellified nigga bitch hoe mentality that was given to you by hell in the person of the wicked oppressor. That mentality is not yours. We have been divided and conquered, divided from the black woman and conquered by the white man. Look at the conditions of physical slavery. You were slave all day from sunup to sundown. At that, you may get a chance to go to your slave shack and eat some grits and some pork leftovers. You may even be fortunate enough to eat food with your wife or your family. This is the only peaceful time of your day. But wait, all of a sudden the slave master busts into your slave shack. Here comes Billy Bob, Lil Joey, and Jim Jack. Breaking down the door, if there was a door. They knock the pork and grits off the table, push you aside, and grab your wife. All three of these lust-filled, dirty, sweaty beasts throw your wife on the floor and begin savagely raping her right in front of your face. These savage bastards are violently raping your wife, and you don't do a damn thing about it because you know that you will be killed. They will do this to your wife every night, right in front of your face. These beasts will rape your mother or your sister of their womanhood and rape you of your manhood by making you watch this devilish act while you sit there helplessly. They threaten your black women like pieces of meat. They treated your black women like pieces of meat. They treated your black women like a live-in prostitutes. They treated your black women like no good, worthless hoes. And right along with it, all that, they made you a black man into a little worthless, helpless bitch as yourself. They may have treated the black woman like a worthless bitch, but they made you into the worthless, lifeless, helpless, punkified bitch. Yes, this is the truth. I know the truth hurts, but be a man and take it. I am talking about me too. This is us. We have to be a man enough to correct our faults. So who is the bitch now? It looks like you are the bitch now. That is right. You are the bitch. And how does it feel to be a bitch? You sat there night after night watching these animals savagely rape your wife and molest your sister and daughters while you did nothing to help them. You are a bitch. You are the real bitch. You have been a bitch. You have been bitched by the slave master. Yes, this is us, brother. You got bitched so much that you just went crazy and started trying to bitch the black woman yourself. You started treating the black woman the same way that the evil slave masters treated them. Treated your wives, daughters, and sisters during slavery. You went crazy, brother. You allowed us to be divided and conquered. You allowed us to be divided and conquered. And bitch too. You now disrespect black women in the same way that the slave master taught you to disrespect them. You would talk about their example. You would bitch so much that you learned the art of bitching. Now here you are still trying to bitch the black woman the way that your bitch ass was bitch. It's like crazy shit.
Yeah. Only that.
You treat your woman like a prostitute and hookers. You treat them like sexual objects to fulfill your devilish, evil, lustful, nasty, disgraceful, wicked, savage, disgusting, perverted, lower desires. Where in the hell did you learn that from? Who taught you that evil? What is the origin of that mentality that you now have? You learned this thought pattern from the evil slave master that bitched you. You now try to call the black woman a bitch, but you were the little bitch. When she needed your weak, punctified bitch ass, how dare you open your mouth to disrespect the black woman after all that we have been through? Where would we be without the black woman? She has been the backbone to get us through this hellified, devil-damn situation. She could not depend on your bitch ass. When she was impregnated by you, your bitch ass could not handle it, so you left her alone. When she needed help paying bills, your bitch ass was not there for her. When she needed help raising your kids, your bitch ass was not there for her. When she needed your protection living in the ghetto, your bitch ass was not there for her. Where have you been, black man? Where have you been? Where are you, black man? You don't know. You probably don't know where your own bitch ass daddy is, do you? Where is the black man? Where have you been? It's a little longer chapter. Two more. Black man, you probably been standing in the corner holding your crotch in one hand and a malt liquor bottle in the other hand, talking about how many bitches you got. You ain't got no bitches. You the bitch. You ain't no pimp. You just a punk. This is us, black man. Now, after reading this truth, you should not ever allow yourself to even think or disrespect your black queen ever again. You should never treat her like a bitch again. It does not feel good to be treated like a bitch. You don't want to be treated like a worthless bitch. So why would you want to treat your sister like one? You know that old saying, what goes around comes around. But what if that started happening to you? What if the world you was taken over by male homosexuals? Imagine imagine that terrible thought. What if these homosexuals started making bitches out of you? What if these homosexuals put you in tight clothes and made you dance around in their music videos? What if they disrespectfully flirted with you out in public everywhere you went? What if everywhere that you went, homosexuals started coming on to you as if you were some sort of cheap sexual fantasy? You wouldn't like that, would you? You would be ready to fight. It doesn't feel good being made somebody's bitch. Now, does it? But stop trying to bitch the black woman before somebody turns around and bitches you. Remember that. What goes around, come around. Brothers, the black woman is not a bitch, and she is not a white man's bitch. The black woman is nobody's bitch. But wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. Even though the black woman is not a bitch, hoe, or prostitute, there are still some of my brainwashed, ignorant, misled sisters who carry out thoughts and actions of true bitches. Yes, that is right. And I cannot leave you out of the picture. We have got to tell some truth where it needs to be told. Listen up, sisters. How are you going to demand that somebody give you respect when you don't even respect your own damn self? You walking around half naked all the time, and if by chance you do decide to put some clothes on, you got to put on some slut-like skin-tight clothes that expose every nook and cranny and curve in your body. You go out in these parties dancing and freaking like a cheap hoe. After the party, you have sex with anything or anyone driving a Mercedes Benz or BMW. How in the hell can you demand any respect? How in the hell can you get mad at a brother for calling you what you are obviously acting like? If you don't want to be called a bitch, hoe, or slut, then stop acting like a bitch, hoe, or slut. Now, at the same time, this does not give any brother any excuse to call you a bitch, a hoe, or slut, because they should just try to help you out of your sad conditions instead of taking advantage of your pitiful, disgraceful, moralist mentality, deceased ignorance of self. Respect yourself, black women, and others will respect you no matter how ignorant they may be themselves. But do not expect respect when you don't even respect yourself. Brothers, the next time you see a woman in tight prostitute clothing, you should walk over to her and offer her some money so she will know that she looks, so she'll know what she looks like. Maybe she'll start dressing like a prostitute if she start getting paid for being one. The black woman is not to be disrespected by anyone, not even herself. The black woman is very important link. Very important link to the. Yeah, I'm still here. Very important link to the salvation for all of us. So honor her. Without her, there would be no you. You are not a son of a bitch. You are the son of a goddess and queen. You are much more than what you think you are, and she is much more than what you think she is. Study up on the black woman. Once you truly understand who the black woman is, you will be surprised and ashamed of yourself at the same time. Do away with your foolishness. Respect yourself and respect your origin. Because if the black woman is a bitch, that makes you a son of a bitch. That's the end of the chapter.
Okay. I think that was a good sermon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. He took himself out of here. Where you go? Where you go? He took himself out of here, man. God damn. That was a hellified chapter, man. Hellified.
That was chapter 4 we read, right?
Chapter 4 and chapter 5.
Okay, so the next one is chapter 6.
We're on chapter 6. So go ahead and put our bookmarker on chapter 6.
The next chapter 6, light, bright, and damn near white.
Light, bright, damn near white will be tomorrow. Light, bright, damn near white is gonna be tomorrow, man. I'm excited about this damn book, man. This book got me all excited. I ain't gonna even lie, bro.
That motherfucker crazy as hell.
What's the author from it? Who's the author of it?
Akil.
Akil?
Yeah. AKIL.
AK.
That's what it look like.
Okay. Niggas
For
of
those-
God. Okay. You ain't did nothing wrong. What's the name of From Niggas to Gods?
From Niggas to God.
From Niggas to Gods, Juanito.
And it's two.
How you spell his what you call it? His name?
His name AKIL.
AKIL. And it's from Niggas to Gods. AKIL from Niggas to Gods. All right. Yeah, that was a good one, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. We rocking with this one, man. I don't know how much longer we got. How much longer we got on that book? But we on chapter 6. We just there. We just getting to the tip of it.
Yeah, we got that bit. We ain't even did nothing, bro.
We ain't did nothing.
No, we just cracked that bit. Look, we still got all that back there to go.
Oh yeah. We got some wisdom. We got some wisdom to drop on them.
We
We'll
just cracked
figure out
that
the
motherfucker.
episode. It's gonna be a certain episode that we're gonna end it on.
What?
I'm talking about on the episode. We on episode 3.
Yeah.
Shit, episode 4, nigga. We gonna read some more shit.
Mm.
I'm gonna get that next week. No bullshit. It's $20. It's $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get both books.
You gotta get part 1 and part 2. You say I'm gonna read along with y'all.
All right, that's cool.
That's
Tell me you gotta get part 2.
You gotta get part 2 too. That's the other one, part 2. We should read that one after this one.
I mean, yeah, we can.
We'll be here. Solo,
Yeah.
you ever read the Africans who wrote the Bible? You ever read the Africans that wrote the Bible?
No, I haven't read it. You got it? I would like to read it. See, I like reading, so
Yeah.
I would like to read it.
Yeah. He like reading it. He the professor.
It's
the
part
same
2.
thing. It's the
It's
same
the same
thing.
thing. It's just called volume 2.
Yeah, volume 2. Same thing, volume 2. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it going. Type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the
man.
YOLO show, man. That's the YOLO show, man. We dropping knowledge, man. We dropping gems, man. And we ending it every time, man, with the book, man. So some of y'all might miss some of it. You might miss a certain video and this and that, but y'all wanna stay to the end. Just know we ain't ended that bitch yet, we ain't started reading yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't started reading yet. The reading is always at the end. We always gonna have the reading at the end. So it can stay on your mind. Once you hear this, boom, let it sink on your mind. We're gonna end it type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bonnie Mo, you need to get the Miseducation of the Negro too, man. It's another good one. Carter G. Woodson.
Mm-hmm. It tells where the Bible stories come from. Okay.
What's the name of it, Kurt Dog?
That's the one that said the one that he just screened out. The one the Africans, you read the Africans that wrote the Bible or some shit.
But what's the name of it? That's what I'm saying.
Is that the name of it?
I don't think that's called.
You ever read The Africans Who Wrote the Bible? Is that the name of the book? The Africans Who Wrote the Bible? I think that might be it. I mean, say them people don't want y'all teaching. We still got to do what we can. It don't matter. You can't just, you know what I mean? Like shit. We ain't the only people on the platform giving out game.
Kurt Dog, is this it?
Hold them up. Let me put you on the big screen.
Cloud Jut, Kurt Dog, Big Fresh, Ever, the committee. Is this it, Kurt Dog, right here?
Nah, is that it, Kurt Dog? Knowledge is power. For real. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. He said yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get it. Don't worry about it.
You finna get it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I appreciate you, Jut. You know what I'm saying? For real, bro.
Appreciate you, Jut.
We're gonna keep this shit going for real, bro. Type of shit we doing right now, my nigga. Giving out good content, bro. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be bullshitting all the time, bro. We gotta give these people, if they watching, we definitely gotta give them some shit. You know what I'm saying? Some shit to lead with. You know what I mean? If we
You
gotta
need something
take
to
the
think
initiative,
about.
if we gotta take the initiative and play that role, then shit, so be it. Got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it at all.
We'll take our lick and keep on ticking.
Yeah, we're gonna take our lick and keep on ticking, man. We're gonna take our lick and keep on ticking, man. Know thyself, for real. Drop that shit, nigga, for real. Now that's gangster, for real, bro. For real. Giving out them gems, man. We got Professor Solo on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Type shit. Professor Solo on this motherfucker.
No, but y'all, everybody need to go get them a Black Law dictionary, man. Preferably one of the little pocket ones to keep in your pocket at all time, man. One of the
Black
little
Law
boys.
Dictionary. Black Law
Yeah,
Dictionary.
man.
It's cool to be on bullshit at times, but gotta balance it out. Definitely gotta balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely balance it out. Got to, man. For real. Shit, on that note, man, look here, man. We're gonna close it up, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the
Shout
show.
out to the chat. Much love. Appreciate y'all tapping in with the YOLO show, man.
Man, appreciate y'all tapping in for Yolo Show, man. Appreciate shout out to the chat, man. We're gonna be back again tomorrow, man. We're gonna do this shit, man. Y'all know how we doing it, man. Say go and change his name to Professor Solo. For real. For real. It's Professor Solo, man. Salute Juanito. Salute everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah.
Man, for real. And we gonna do it like that, man. And we gone.